unsettling ghost videos that just shouldn't exist. Haunted Kitchen. Sarah, or Lady Boss as she is known on YouTube, runs LIPS, which stands for Ladies into Paranormal Studies. Through her channel, she provides real paranormal evidence with no filler or attitude, giving you the ghosties and cutting out the boring parts. A significant amount of the paranormal activity Lady Boss has captured has been at the restaurant she used to own. Check this out. Throughout the 3 years of owning the restaurant, Sarah and her work colleague Alyssa have seen it all. Everything from cooking utensils moving on their own, to bowls and containers moving, and even the odd shadow figure has been seen lurking in the dark throughout the dining room space. As Sarah pans across, a dark silhouette can be seen hard up against one of the dining room walls. It's only visible for about half a second or so, however, it's clear that this isn't one of the girls' shadows, as it's only half the height and doesn't appear anywhere near them. It really does seem like something unknown is hiding out in the restaurant. Sarah says that the ghost's name is Benedict and calls himself Ben. Sarah has learnt of this not only through the history on the place, but also through spirit box sessions performed inside the building. If you're interested in viewing these videos in full, or learning more about the place, make sure to check out her channel over at Lady Boss. Links, of course, are down below in the video description. Nightshift. James Hess, a man whose family owns a hardware store in Texas, uploaded this next video a couple of years ago. James, one of the owners, states that he was in the hardware store late at night doing some small pricing tasks that needed to be done. While doing that and organizing product on a shelf, a red balloon with no string appeared as if out of nowhere, floating right in front of James. James says that he went out to the security camera and found this footage. He also says that if you look closely at the reflection of the balloon, you can almost see a set of glowing white eyes. James states in the description of the original video that the balloon followed him in a way that made him think it was interested in him. Meaning it followed him around the store and also raised up to eye level before moving on around the store. He also mentions that the AC was not on, nor were any doors or windows open, nor was it drafty in any way. A commenter from the original uploaded suggested that it may in fact be Pennywise wanting some great value from the hardware store. Paranormal or not, this is kinda creepy. An eerie photo. This video was recorded and uploaded by David Scott, the lead investigator of the Illinois Paranormal Research Association, or IPAR Strong. Located at Schiller Park, Illinois, there stands a bar that was constructed around 1889. According to the owner, the bar used to be a general store and then a speakeasy during Prohibition. One night, an evening bartender took a photo after experiencing something out of the ordinary. The developed photo shows a girl standing in front of the woman's bathroom. She is staring directly into the camera.
The evening bartender, Tammy, shared an eerie photo with us that was taken by a frequent customer. The customer had witnessed a shadow figure, so we snapped a photo and managed to capture this creepy image on camera. In this photo, you see what appears to be a young girl looking directly into the lens. She seems to be wearing an old-fashioned outfit. The photo of the little girl had been taken directly outside of the women's bathroom. Our EVP analyst Marsha Mack jumped on the case and headed into the washroom in an attempt to communicate with the girl.
Is there a little girl here? In the bathroom? Are there any women in here with me?
As scary as this image of the little girl dressed in an old-fashioned outfit is, there was something else in the video that caught many people's attention. As you saw in the video, the team's EVP analyst Marsha Mack attempted to make contact with this spirit of the little girl that they had captured on camera. If we slow down the footage while in the washroom, we can see what looks like a small person or even child peering out from behind the toilet cubicle door. Previous viewers of this video have mentioned that they think they can see a small person in behind the door. Whether or not this is actually a figure or even a person is unclear. What would be your guess? Was this also the little girl making a second appearance on camera, or was it nothing more than confusing the back wall for a figure of sorts? Make sure you go and watch the full video and all of David's others over on his YouTube channel, Believe a Paranormal Experience. A direct channel and video link will be below in the video description. Haunted Hospital. Chris from the YouTube channel URBEX Hill captured something rather quite special in the last few weeks. While exploring the underground tunnels of Molly Stark Sanatorium, a former tuberculosis hospital in Stark County in Ohio, Chris started to hear something that he really shouldn't have. What sounded like footsteps could be heard walking in front of him despite being down there alone. This is what he captured. What looks like a figure can be seen walking a few dozen feet ahead of Chris. The unknown person or entity looks to be wearing a white shirt or even a lab coat as they walk or move out of sight of the camera. Chris states at first he thought it was just a regular person down in the tunnels with him. However, he continued walking and realized that this was a dead end. It's been a few weeks now since this video was uploaded and it's still unclear who or what this was. It's almost certain that this wasn't a worker as the building has been closed down since 1995. What would be your best guess? Some of Chris's viewers have suggested it could be the spirit of one of the former employees, endlessly roaming the tunnels, perhaps a former doctor looking for his way out. Who knows? As always, make sure to switch on over to Chris's YouTube channel to watch some of his other creepy exploration videos. The Polaroid. The TV show Sightings was a program that ran from 1991 through to 1997 and aired all across the world. Episodes would take a look at the world of the paranormal, including visitors from out of space, ghosts and spirits, cryptozoology, and other phenomena outside the realm of conventional science. The show included many interviews with people who had witnessed and, in some cases, even been abducted by these unknown entities. In this particular episode, Tim White, the host of the show, and the Sightings investigative team claimed that for the first time they could communicate with spirits. Watch this and let me know what you think.
These are the pictures that have astonished researchers and left photographic experts baffled. They contain messages and images that seem to indicate communication with spirits.
At first, the photographs frightened me.
You snap one of these things, and when you start asking questions, it starts answering. I don't know how to explain how bizarre that feels.
Never ever have I come across anything like this at all before.
From their hillside home in Los Angeles, John Huckert and John Matkowski called us about their photographs. It all started less than a year ago, when both men began to sense a strange presence.
I'll be standing there reading something at the desk or something, and I'll feel a hand come up and place it on my shoulder. And of course I turn around to see who it is, and there's nobody there. And then I get sort of a jolt of adrenaline or whatever. It makes me kind of nervous. Another thing I've seen in the last year is I've just seen this sort of free-floating shadow moving across the floor, or the desk, or the wall, or whatever. And when I see it, at first I think it's, well, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's moving very slow. And then when I try to mask out all the possibilities for what could be causing it, there's nothing causing it. The other thing that I've seen, that apparently I'm the only one who's seen this, is I've seen this old man standing over near the couch. I see him out of the corner of my eye, and it's just there for a hardly tangible instant. It's just there, and then when you look and blink, it's not there anymore.
I felt things like sort of like a sunburn on my arms. It's the only way I can explain it. It was sort of like a tingly, like a sunburn. That's the only thing I can think of, and that's how I usually know if there's some kind of presence here or something.
In an effort to document the shadowy presence, the two men started taking pictures, unsure if anything so intangible could be captured on film.
I took the picture of the bathroom door over by the bathroom and got this really strange-looking thing that was either scary or comical.
The first images they captured had distinct eyes, mouth, and body. But then the pictures took an unexpected turn, and the results shocked everyone. They started receiving answers to specific questions.
We asked him what his name was, just assuming that it's a presence. And we asked him his name, and he answered on the Polaroid. He told us his name was Wright. And we were like, we still didn't believe it. So we just continued asking questions to the middle of the air in the living room, just to nothing. And we'd ask him if he was a good ghost or bad ghost, just really named questions to begin with. And he answered friend.
Who or what was causing this communication? When contacted, Polaroid was at a loss to explain the phenomenon. So far, more than 100 photos have been taken. Early writing was in English, but more recent writing has been in Latin.
We have asked him if he died in this house, and his answer was in Latin. He answered that, among other things, he did die in this house.
Once John Matkowski contacted us, we assembled a sightings investigative team to be led by Carrie Gaynor, noted UCLA parapsychologist, who has investigated more than 800 haunting cases in his 20 years of field work. Carrie Gaynor's famous photographic work in the notorious Entity case uniquely qualified him for this assignment.
In my line of work, we spend a great deal of time waiting and watching and wondering and hoping. We don't experience phenomena very often. The people that live in the home are there all the time, and as a researcher, I just come in and leave. But when something happens, it's so exciting, it's so exhilarating. It's a moment of connectedness with something that's just mysterious, exciting, unknown.
Carrie Gaynor began his survey using a magnetometer to measure the physical environment.
The reason we're using a magnetometer is just to see if there are any changes in the environment, basically with the onset of the phenomena. So that's the intriguing thing, is to walk the house and get a reading on it, and then if something happens, to have the magnetometer out and see if there's any change in the reading during the phenomena itself.
Since the ghostwriting first appeared, several of John's friends have also been able to capture messages on film. We asked them to participate in our investigation. Researchers carefully documented every step of the process. To minimize the possibility of a hoax, 4 cameras were on site. Sealed film, direct from Polaroid, was checked, rechecked, and logged. Marty Elkin was the first to get an answer.
Are most spirits good spirits or bad spirits?
30 seconds later, this astonishing message appeared.
There are numerous remedial lemures.
Do we have a Latin dictionary? Lemures. In Roman mythology, The night walking spirits of the dead.
Hello.
The nervous laughter masked the tension and excitement in the room. Since the supposed spirit seemed to want to communicate with Marty, she asked another question.
Right, will you be with them for a long time?
And as the film developed, another answer appeared in Latin.
Marty, what are you thinking right now? How strange this is.
Translated, the message reads, "All this is over now." Edson Williams, a special effects expert from the Brooks Institute of Photography in Santa Barbara, California, was on site to examine the photographs immediately.
These were shots that were taken today. A few minutes ago, they were shot and came out of the Polaroid. I actually watched them eject out of the Polaroid, and now I'm in the process of evaluating, trying to decide if they're actually authentic or if they've been manipulated. There was a moment there where I thought, oh my God, and I was in the Polaroid, which made it even spookier. I'm in the background of the Polaroid, so I have a picture of me with ghosts writing across it, and I really it made me feel that there could be something in the house.
Many control photographs were taken with no results. And then, suddenly, another message.
Ad literam.
Rick, what did you ask?
I asked, what did he think of this in comparison to when he was alive? What do you think of the technology and what's going on?
No, it's not in this dictionary.
Ad literam. Okay, to the letter, exactly.
You have to establish a chain of evidence. You have to be able to observe the phenomena from the beginning to the end. So we have to load the film. We have to show that it's a sealed pack. We have to show that it's our camera. We have to fire it. We have to control the film as it comes out. We have to establish a chain of evidence. And once we do that, I'll feel much more comfortable.
Early camera technology was crude, and hoaxes were commonplace. But with the publication of the famous Lincoln photograph, spirit photography began to be taken seriously. Significantly, virtually every example of ghosts on film has been exposed as fraudulent. Only now has Sightings been able to document what appears to be ghostly images on film in real time, with witnesses present. Here, you will see, without editing, the ghost writing phenomenon on film. First, a fresh, sealed package of factory direct film is loaded into John's camera. This camera has been examined by photographic experts who found no obvious evidence of tampering. In this continuous action sequence, John Huckert poses a specific question. A picture is taken, and an answer to the question appears on film while the Sightings cameras roll.
Is he here because you guys, or is he here because his home is his?
Yeah, right. Are you here because of us, or are you here because of the house itself?
Start doing this, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hold it up.
Hey, Doug, do you know where the pepper went? The little pepper?
45 seconds later, writing appears on the photograph.
What does it say?
Genius loci.
Oh, Graham.
Who asked the question?
What did you ask?
John asked it, the other John took it. The question for this picture was, are you here for John or the house? And the answer came out in Latin. We looked it up, and the answer is fairly intriguing. The exact translation is the guardian spirit of a man or place.
Without any obvious signs of tampering, the Sightings team had to ask, could this actually be a guardian spirit communicating from the grave? Or a hoax not yet solved? The camera and the exposed film were immediately sent to the Brooks Institute of Photography. Edson Williams, who had been on site during the investigation, developed one possible explanation.
I scanned in the Polaroid at a high resolution using a digital scanner. When I scanned it in, I zoomed in on the image and noticed there to be individual hair fragments in the text. I increased the contrast and sharpness and edge sharpness of the image, and the hairs became more apparent. It appears to me, under high magnification, that is some kind of fiber, more than likely cotton.
In his lab, Williams demonstrated for Sightings how he believes the writing could have been created.
The initial step was to shoot pulled cotton with a 4x5 camera using E6 film. The next step was to pre-expose the Polaroid film. I removed the cover sheet of the Polaroid pack and inserted the transparency with the text on it. Using a flash pack, I exposed the Polaroid with the text. I removed the transparency, I reinserted the cover sheet, and loaded the film normally.
Although Williams did create writing similar to that of the alleged ghostwriter, his elaborate process took over an hour to complete. It would be difficult to recreate the same process in the house with observers.
It looks like cotton, but then again.
Experts at the Polaroid Corporation in Waltham, Massachusetts, were at a loss to explain the ghostwriting phenomenon. I spoke with photo expert Howard Warzel.
We have never encountered it, and we've been selling film for now 50 years to billions of customers, especially film that was even higher sensitivity than the current color film. It could be what they're saying that it is. It's a possibility that somehow there's a field that they are capturing. Physically, I don't know how they could do that.
The two individuals who brought the story to our attention say they didn't manipulate the film. The sightings people who have been there on site and watched what's happened say that they didn't manipulate the film. Does that put your skepticism at rest?
It depends on where the film pack came from that was loaded into the camera. If the film pack came out of a sealed box from Polaroid that had not had the seal broken, then the answer is yes, that would eliminate my skepticism.
That looks like a fresh. We screened a tape of the continuous action sequence inside the house, and Howard Warzel saw factory-sealed film inserted in the cameras.
They're very accomplished if it's a hoax. If it's real, it's something I've never seen before.
Just on a personal level, isn't there part of you that would really like there to be something unusual going on here?
Oh, of course. I mean, that's the desire to find spirits or design things that we haven't been able to find. It would be an uncovering of a whole new world to people if it were real.
No way any of us can really know, I guess. This sort of has validated some of my beliefs that there is something on the other side, I guess is how you could say it.
For parapsychologist Carrie Gaynor, the investigation will continue.
The potential here is really unlimited. If they can write on Polaroid film while it's inside a camera, what else can they do? I mean, what next? It reaches to the outer limits of our imagination.
As creepy as this episode of Sightings was, many previous viewers believed that this was just too far-fetched to accept as real. What was thought to be genuine and really scary 25-odd years ago is almost hard to believe in this day and age. Do you think that this actually could have been a spirit of sorts communicating with the members of the household? Or could this whole thing be nothing more than a setup for television ratings? You be the judge of that. As always, if you want more older content like this, drop a comment and let me know.